let us have a comprehensive discussion about the hybrid curriculum, learning and teaching. This is the sub-lecture 3. Let us start with the introduction. COVID-19 bounced into the lives of everyone on multiple levels and areas of their family, working, and personal spheres. This pandemic has exposed the fragility and limitations of many educational systems, as well as the urgent need to adapt and innovate to meet the diverse and evolving needs of learners, teachers, and families, as it was argued by the International Bank of Reconstruction, the World Bank, Reimers, and Rouge in 2002 and 2021. In general terms, more than 90% of worldwide students saw their education affected, which translates to more than 168 million children and adolescents who faced class suspensions during 2020 and part of 2021, according to UNESCO, 2021. The hybrid curriculum started to become an important tool to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic crisis, and it was identified as important in contemporary matters related to education in an ever-changing complex world where technology has become a key to achieving what was in the near past unachievable, as Naidu argued in 2020. A hybrid curriculum can provide a flexible and responsive framework for designing and delivering learning experiences that are relevant, engaging, and effective in different contexts and situations. It can also leverage the potential of technology to enhance the quality and accessibility of education, while also ensuring that human interactions and relationships are not lost or diminished. A hybrid curriculum can prepare the students for the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century by developing their competencies and skills in critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, communication, digital literacy, and global citizenship. A hybrid curriculum can also foster the values and attitudes that are essential for living together in peace and harmony, such as respect, tolerance, empathy, solidarity, and inclusion. By adopting a hybrid curriculum approach, educational systems can transform and improve their practices and outcomes and contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals, especially Goal 4, Quality Education for All. Now, let us define what a hybrid curriculum is. All about according to UNESCO 2020. A hybrid curriculum is a curriculum that combines different modes and methods of learning, such as online and offline, synchronous and asynchronous, formal and informal, to achieve the intended learning outcomes and competencies. It is flexible and adaptable to the diverse needs and contexts of the learners, teachers, and families. A hybrid curriculum also uses technology as an enabler and enhancer of learning, while maintaining the human and social aspects of education. This curriculum aims to provide quality, relevant, inclusive, and equitable education for all. History taught us that every crisis brings a change as well as an improvement opportunity, and thereupon the educational systems across the world took the initiative of innovating to be able to transform their systems and provide quality answers, with perspectives of inclusion and equity concerning the millions of students and families, as the International Bank of Reconstruction and the World Bank argued in 2021. The UNESCO office in Dakar and the Regional Bureau for Education in Africa proposed the same for the G5 countries Sahel. In this sense, new learning modalities emerged and were considered to access every student in the region. The hybrid models of learning can be understood as an optimal response to this COVID-19 pandemic crisis and many other different crises that may occur in the short, medium, or long term and can become useful to redesign the educational systems. Let us now look at the definition of hybrid learning style and approach, and also set its advantages and challenges. First of all, what is meant by hybrid models of learning? The dominant educational concept was based on two structuring and restricting constructs: the time, when children learned, and the space, where the learning takes place. In the 1800s and 1900s, these two structures were helpful for organizing a mass education system, but the COVID-19 disruption has made them obsolete. Without the use of physical structures or bell schedules, it was proved that students could learn and exhibit their learning. Students may learn wherever they are with deep learning and digital technology, according to Fullen, Quinn, Drummy, and Gardner in 2020. Therefore, hybrid learning can be defined as a learning approach that combines both remote learning and in-person learning to improve student experience and ensure learning continuity. It is of particular relevance during the school's partial reopening and in preparation for potential virus resurgence, according to UNESCO, in collaboration with McKinsey & Company in 2020. Face-to-face teaching with remote teaching represents innovation where students can present in the classroom while others are connected remotely to benefit from the same quality instructions in real time, simultaneously. On the other hand, it can refer to a group of students who attend class physically some days and all of them work remotely other days, both synchronic and asynchronously, according to Subun in 2021. A hybrid model can also be distributed with 50% of face-to-face teaching and another 50% with distance, including synchronic ways such as video conferences, such as asynchronous ones through work-in platforms or other tools, digital or not, as CIAZA argued in 2021. Educational systems should consider this type of change in order to incorporate new designs to their teaching and learning modes, amplifying not only the quality of the proposals, but also incorporating students outside of the formal educational system. It is interesting to consider Zhao and Waterston in their proposal in 2021, where they propose the changes that the educational systems need in the post-pandemic world. Mainly, 3 aspects are suggested to be checked and transformed. 1. What to teach and what to learn. 2. How to teach and learn. And 3. When and how much to teach and learn. The first aspect refers to contents, abilities, and competencies that are worked on inside the educational programs. The second point includes the methodologies employed by the teachers and the students studying strategies, which to a large degree are limited by the proposals made by the first. Finally, the third points out how much, when, and where to learn, alludes to checking times and spaces related to education. Since COVID-19, the hybrid modalities of learning have become frequent, and this should often be rethought for the post-pandemic world. It is very important to remember that all school systems may have the ability to quickly transition from in-person learning to remote learning in order to become really resilient, because they have additional remote learning capacity to quickly transition to remote learning. If in-person learning is disrupted, schools can assure learning continuity. Digital infrastructure, the amount of curriculum tailored to mass media, such as TV, and the number of textbooks per student are a few examples of drivers of capacity. However, creating hybrid learning systems and becoming ready to flip between models presents substantial obstacles for educational systems and institutions, according to UNESCO, in collaboration with McKinsey & Company in 2020. As Renato Operti in 2021 proposed 10 clues to rethink the curriculum, and those were: Clue 1. Comprehending the new generations. Clue 2. Fight the factors associated with the vulnerabilities. Clue 3. Strengthen the empathy between families and education. Clue 4. Deepen in a local education. Clue 5. Strengthen the look at the person. Clue 6. Promote values in synergies. Clue 7. Appreciating diversity. Clue 8. Focusing sight on an education that strengthens freedom. Clue 9. Progressing towards hybrid modes. Clue 10. Revaluing educators. Take note that a reading of these 10 clues is shared in this module for further reading. It is important to clarify that these 10 clues were thought through 4 fundamental considerations. In the first place, the curriculum should be thought of as a dynamic process that involves actors inside and outside the educational system, and it is necessary to build agreements concerning the main questions: what, when, and where to teach and learn, as Operti mentioned in 2021. Secondly, the Educational Agenda 2030 places the curriculum in a place of relevance and gives it legitimacy based on educational tenets, objectives, and learning. Thirdly, the huge changes going on currently should be considered, as well as how these affect societies, communities, and people, and incorporate the established roles of people, citizens, workers, entrepreneurs, etc. Lastly, starting from the impact the COVID-19 pandemic had, especially on the educational sphere, New modes of learning and teaching should be considered by those in charge of designing curricular proposals. Let us discuss the advantages and disadvantages of hybrid learning. Referring to the advantages and disadvantages of a topic as broad as hybrid education without bringing up the context would be a serious mistake. In the first place, we cannot talk about it without considering the roles in the educational community: students, teachers, parents, educational ministries, etc. Secondly, it is very important to take into account the age, maturity, and autonomy of the students. Thirdly, we must consider the conditions of access to technology available in that country or region, and finally, also consider the existing digital divide in that context. When used properly, technology can assist both teachers and their pupils, but success is unlikely if teachers aren't active participants in the process. Besides, more teachers can be coached thanks to technology than was previously feasible. Virtual coaches might help more instructors in South Africa, the US, and Uganda by offering them the critical support they need. Furthermore, English teachers in Kenya utilize Facebook groups to connect with one another and to ask other questions about the subject matter, as Evans alluded to in 2021. So, doing the analysis under optimal conditions, it could be said that there are general advantages as follows. 1. Flexibility. More freedom to take breaks and sleep. You can live further from the school as students have to go less times per month. 2. Students can learn at their own rate. They can rewatch lectures. 3. All the materials are at their fingertips from anywhere. 4. Students develop deeper problem-solving skills. 5. Unlock more learning opportunities. 6. Families spend more time together. And the potential drawbacks of hybrid learning are: 1. Mental health issues affect students and teachers. 2. Lack of social activities may create a sense of isolation. Learning in isolation is challenging for teenagers, but also for younger students. While online video lessons may be tiring, there could be less participation online. 3. Requires self-discipline of students. Students are encouraged to spend some time with their teacher and some time at home to complete their learning. They need good time management skills. 4. Requires additional training for instructors. 5. Remote online classes are prone to technical issues. Limited internet access can be a problem. 6. Remote online learning means more screen time for students. 7. The technology learning curve. 8. Parents juggling being a teacher, parent, and worker. This is the end of Module 2, Lecture 4, Sub-Lecture 3.